Another edition of the Firstrust Bank Coaches Corner. We're catching up with Billy Lange, 76ers, in the midst of a really positive stretch. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Career night scoring 32 points against the Bulls. How do you guys use him most effectively, specifically in post-up situations? Seems like he's been real effective in those.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better there. He's developed, first off, he wants to be down there more. That was the first thing, is to show him how effective he can be, and he bought into it, and now we got to find out how to get him. The most effective where he is in our season has been in transition. So what we like to do the most, so let's say this is Ben and we're pushing the ball off a missed basket, we love him to first just get in the middle of the floor and create. You know, you got JJ running on a wing, he can kick it for a three. You got Cove running on a wing, he can kick it for a three. Sometimes the defense won't allow him to get to the middle of the floor for whatever reason, Brian. They just don't agree with us, okay? So what we've talked about with Ben is if he's pushing it on a sideline, most teams are just going to back up on him. They want to dare him to shoot, and they don't want to give him space. So where Ben's gotten a lot better is he will immediately attack this defender off the dribble and then just start backing the guy in from here. And it's really hard to guard in transition because the defense is already backpedaling. He's such a force to take up the space. And now once he's got the ball in this area, he can either get to the middle to score or kick out to, like, let's say it's JJ or Dario or someone running the floor, or he can just hold the ball a little bit longer and just keep backing down, and you see he's starting to develop drop steps in other areas to score. So although we have half-court plays that will get him the ball in the low post, we can always call that. He's most effective in transition because it becomes two layers. One, he's in the middle of the floor and it's like a jailbreak. It's like a 3-on-2 drill. He's got both wings. Or if they try to force him to the side, we can just get him in transition, and on back down, we call it a bend back down. You like that creativity? Bend back down. He'll back the guy in, and the defense can't get loaded on him.
So between Simmons and Joel Embiid, obviously a really big reason why the Sixers, one of the most effective teams in the league right now in terms of post-play efficiency.
Yeah. And include Dario in that.
That's
and
right.
You know, we've got three guys, and they're all starting, and they're all 6'10" and above, so it makes it really hard for teams to match up against us.
I'm not sure if this next part will require much diagramming, but to see Ben go to the free throw line, 5.6 seconds left against the Bulls, just the intangible factor that he can step to the line, get the job done, that had to be pretty big.
Well, you know, if you think about our first home Washington game, where they started fouling him with, like, it seemed like 5 or 6 minutes, it probably seemed with, like, in the second quarter. You know, he went down and knocked some key free throws down for us. He's done this for us this season. Those two last night were different, though. Those were to actually win the game. So, you know, everything Ben's doing, he gains confidence. You know, his first few times he wanted to post up, he was tentative. He had never done it before. And then once he figured out he can do it, he looks to be more assertive. It's the same thing on the free throw line. Like, we want him stepping up there with confidence. The young man put some time in on his free throw. It was great to see it.
This is a fun time of year for the 76ers, making a postseason push. How about this road trip coming up?
Yeah.
You got the Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, all teams that, like yourself, in the mix of the East playoff picture. Give me some quick hitters on those teams.
Well, you know, number one, we have 26 games left. We have to take each one like they're a critical piece of our ascension into the playoffs. So we haven't made it yet. We still have room to grow ourselves. So we got to focus on us. It's about, can we get better at the things we got to get better at? We understand the magnitude of games against teams like Washington, especially a team like Miami right now, and a team like Cleveland. We know how good they are. We know they're all, like, bunched up. We're all bunched up. We're all trying to get home court advantage or just make it. I think it would be foolish for us to look at, like, those individual matchups as being key, because a lot of those losses or wins are going to equal the same they will against other opponents. What we have to know is it'll be the third time playing Miami in a very short amount of time. They will be very well prepared. That's like a playoff series, so we have to be very detail-oriented in terms of our offense and our defense. Cleveland has this guy by the name of LeBron James. He's pretty good, and they'll be home, and they've got a new team, so that'll be like a brand-new matchup for us. We haven't played this brand-new team that they have formed here over the trade deadline, and those three games are all going to pose different threats. But seriously, Brian, I know it sounds like coach speak. We just have to take each game as its own importance.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
The man who dominates the dry erase board, Billy Lange. Thanks so much, man.
You got it, man. Take care, Brian.